NuubCast.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another NuubCast, or should I say Noob Clash. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got another instance of two fellow noobs banging it out head-to-head in a PvT this time. We have got Krios, the purple Protoss, who is a platinum player, and he is going up against, you got it, Soulsteel. Soulsteel playing what is probably his worst race, Terran. He is a Masters in Zerg and Protoss, so you can't imagine that his Terran is too far behind. He's a pretty good player in all races, and his Terran, as you can see, he's considering switching races to Terran or Protoss, and he's leaning towards Protoss because he doesn't lose. LOL. Well, let's see if that stays true in this. If a Platinum Protoss has any chance of standing up against a high-level, basically random player at this point, we could say, about Soulsteel. And, you know, there's such overlap, I think, in skill level at each tier, I guess is the word I'm looking for, that, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if I need more replays. Wouldn't surprise me if Krios was able to, you know, at least give Soulsteel a run for his money here. It's gotten through the screener, so it must be a pretty good game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. Soulsteel is probably one of my most prolific replay submitters recently. It used to be Tazernix was the guy sending me the most replays, and now Soulsteel is right up there. And it's definitely a pleasure to watch him play. I think it was Soulsteel. I don't remember if it was Soulsteel or are you the new dude? Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the screener is. Mwahahaha. Yeah, that's why, you know, you guys don't send them like chocolates and stuff and try to get him to get your game to the front of the line and stuff like that. It protects his identity a little bit. It's not a big deal, I don't think, if I told anybody what it was. I think if you watched all my recent videos over like the last like couple weeks, you could probably figure out who it is. I'm pretty sure I said who it was in one video. And then if you connected that with another video, you could figure it out. Maybe I will like this one. Let's see what happens in this TVP. If you're new to NuubCast, we are all about shining a lot of esports on the places where it never gets shown, on the lower levels. And we want to prove time and time again, with your help, we can only do it with your help, that fun and exciting games can happen at any level. With all this chatting that's going on, I'm surprised that either guy is building anything at all. You guys are talking so much. Stop talking, Krios. You won't be playing terrible. Shut up and play. It's 5:20. You haven't expanded yet. It's a problem, considering Soulsteel's orbital is already up and running at the other base here. But yeah, what I was saying, I think I already said it about overlapping. If you do have replays that you'd like to send in, please send them to NuubCast@gmail.com. I will send them to my screener. And if he tells me they're good, I'll trust him. And then I'll cast them blind. And I will always cast cold. So with that being said, please try not to give too much, if any, of a description of your game when you send it in. There's only one thing I need you to tell me. If you send in a replay, there's only one thing that is a must-have in your description, and that is the league that you're playing in. I don't need to know anything else. I don't need you to tell me what the races are. I don't need you to tell me anything. All I need to know, the only thing I can't get from the replay itself is what league you're in. And if you don't tell me, then it creates this crazy email loop back and forth of me sending emails to the submitter and then back to the screener and then inside and out and upside down, and it's just really easy. Oh, look at this fast Templar archives on one base here. Krios just now getting his Nexus down. Doesn't have much of an army here, but then again, Soulsteel just has a bunch of Marines here. And I imagine Soulsteel, knowing that he's going up against a Platinum Protoss, is easing things up a little bit. And, you know, he's talking a lot too, which I'm sure he wouldn't be doing it in a more competitive setting. I don't want to take anything away from the game, anything away from the gameplay. Just want to make an obvious statement, something that is clearly the case as Soulsteel moving out with a pretty large bunch of Marines here. You've got 20 plus Marines, 21 Marines, 22 Marines. And it looks like he wants to go ahead and go right up in and attack the front. There's already an Archon out here. I think when Soulsteel sees the Archon, he's going to be like, what? Archon? Silly to split those Marines going up. And, oh, really not good force fields from Krios. That one was better, but he didn't really lock any in. The Archon does come forward and knock those down, and he pushes that off pretty quickly. Keeps all of his sentries alive, which is the most important thing in that situation. You want to keep your sentries alive. You want them to be able to get that energy back up. And Soulsteel back at home looks to be switching into or adding a mech aspect to his army. Thank you for 5700 DPI. LOL. Hey, I have 5700 DPI on my mouse, and I don't really notice a difference. Maybe you can only notice a difference if you're like super duper amazing, but I don't really notice a difference. Lots of pylons going down here. Krios, not exactly supply blocked, but he wants to make sure that he doesn't get supply blocked. Soulsteel uses a lot of thermal takes equipment. Little plug for thermal take. If you're watching, I don't know why you would be, but if you happen to be, Soulsteel's looking for a sponsorship because he uses all your stuff. And Marine tank with some Marauders mixed in. Third base going down for Soulsteel. We've got Charge and a Robo down for Krios. And he's got 6 gates on 2 base, which you like to see. Where's the Robo? Right there. Probably going to be producing some Colossus eventually when they come out. Always want to have some of those against a Bioforce. More Templar working in here for Krios. Going to be Archoning it up. And when you have Archons, you know, very gas heavy, then basically an Archon is 300 gas. Not very mineral heavy, so Zealot Archon is basically all you can do when you're going on 2 bases, when you're going for that kind of strategy. That's pretty much all you can do. We do have Observer coming out. We are getting some upgrades here from Krios. And the third base down for Soulsteel, just muling it right now. And we've got lots of tanks. Well, 4. It's a pretty good amount. The siege tech is completed. Not much in the way of exchanges here, just that little Marine exchange for Soulsteel, and he basically gave up a lot of Marines for just a couple of Zealots and a Stalker, I think. And this is actually a pretty nice army here from Krios. But I don't know with siege tanks if it's going to be very good. He's going to need some Guardian Shields to lessen that tank damage. And I don't know, a lot of Zealots. Hard to tell, hard to tell. I think it's going to be pretty close with things looking like this. I think if we see Robobe, yeah, okay. Once that finishes... Oh, he's not going to wait. He's actually pushing with this. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Unless he wants to come up here, kill these rocks, and come into the third. I could see that. He does have this tower, so he does see the army looking to come in and push this way. I wonder if he's going to siege up or not. What was that? Must have been an observer or something. Adding more and more zealots, but not any more archons. He did add a round of stalkers to kind of round out his army a little bit. His tanks are siege, so he definitely has to be careful. And here's a little flank here. He'll be able to come in and surround that, take that down very quickly. Scans the army, sees what he's up against. That is a lot of zealots, man. Another scan going down. Soulsteel wants to bait these guys into the tanks. And he does manage to bait one Archon who instantly dies. And, yeah, I think Krios wisely just wants to just hang back and stay away from those tanks and just go on back home. If anything, bait the army his way. We have drop going off to the right. We do have Colossus being made. We have extended thermal lance. We do have level 1 weapons being researched. We have a pylon here, keeping an eye out for a 4th base. This drop coming down the right side to see if that's going to land. First Colossus is out. Is it the first Colossus? I believe it is. Krios letting his bank get a little bit high. And looks like, is this drop going to be able to come in and take out this upgrade before it finishes? Oh, he's going to bypass that building completely, go right for the economy. It's going to do a lot of damage. Krios is going to need to warp some guys in, and he knows that Krios is going to have to do something about this. So watch the minimap as the green army moves toward that ball, which he still has vision of. And it looks like he's going to try and move his units in while he's dealing with this drop as the Colossus comes in and helps finish things off. Actually, he's going to do it around. Now look at the position he's taken over here on the minimap. He's completely moved his tanks around. He's got tanks on the high ground. He's going to push in here, and are the tanks on the high ground siege? Yes, they are. They're getting lots of pot shots in on these Archons. Colossus getting focused down. He's dropping units behind Krios' army to stop any kind of retreating, but the Colossus doing all kinds of damage, finally going down from the Viking that comes in, and it looks like Krios is the one to hold off this army. The tanks on the high ground did a lot of damage, however, and here comes the Archon coming in, dying very quickly, and that was an amazing trade, and I'm not sure who came out on top of that trade. I think probably Soulsteel, but just by a hair. Now he's got to be careful here. Now he's going to lose the rest of these units. Unfortunate. But here comes the reinforcements, and Soulsteel going to have to run away. Couple Colossus now. Soulsteel doesn't look like he's finished yet. He is grabbing his reinforcements from the base. Lots of bio. Not a lot of medevacs here, and I think that might be the tipping point here for Krios. If he's able to engage here, because there is only the one medevac, it could be problematic. We have a nice rally point here for Krios. More and more tanks coming. He's going to come down and try to attack into the third, it looks like. He wants to take down these rocks, I'm sure. Or maybe not. He's just going to come right on in. All of these pylons here right for the taking. And it will be for free because Krios is not moving his army. It looks like, I thought he was going to move ahead and try and base trade. Not a good idea. He's taking down all these pylons. And I don't think he'll supply block. Oh, look at that. On the high ground, Colossus giving the vision. Able to chase those tanks away. And Krios basically getting the engagements that he wants here. Soulsteel starting to, I think, maybe take this a little bit more seriously, adding a lot more production facilities, going to expand again, and really getting on top. He's actually already mined out almost completely in his main and his natural. He's got to get his fourth base up if he wants to be able to continue in this game. Krios' third is up and running, and he's not mining much from his main, but his natural is still doing pretty well. So he's probably going to be okay for a little while. The Vikings looking to take a flank and may perhaps pick off a Colossus, but there's enough stalkers here to make those guys stay away. He just basically wants to push that army away from his fourth. He doesn't want the Protoss to be able to basically play a game of attrition against a Terran, and you can do that as Protoss if you're able to deny those bases. You can basically starve them to death. Well, you can do that with anybody. With any races. I wonder if my dog is going to keep barking like that. Very even in supply count. If we check siege tanks again, not as many this time. I think Krios actually would have the advantage here. There's no ghosts out in the army, no EMP for Soulsteel. I think if he wanted to push here, he could probably do really well against this composition. I don't think he has Blink. He does not have Blink. Probably consider researching that. Although, I think at this level, when you're up against someone that you know is considerably better than you, oh my goodness, the tanks are not siege, and here comes the big engagement. Stalkers are stuck in the back with no Blink, are not going to be able to get into the engagement here. The Vikings doing a very good job picking off the Colossus. Everything going down here, but it does look like once again that Krios is going to be able to fend this off. He is 2-1 to Soulsteel's 2-2, and he's actually doing a lot better. One Zealot in there, desperately wanting to get into the battle, but unable to. And look at all these Zealots in here getting into the third of Soulsteel, killing all kinds of SCVs. Could this be it? Could Krios, the Platinum player, unseat a Masters level opponent? Holy crap, could it be? Could it be? Not enough medevacs for Soulsteel, and the bio units are just not going to be enough. Look at this huge warp in. All Zealots going to come in and do all kinds of damage here, and there are units in the production line, units in the mineral line. There's nobody mining over there, and there's the GG. Oh my goodness, Krios has done it. Krios has done it. The Platinum player takes down the Masters level player, although granted it was not the race with which he is Masters in, so probably a much more even matchup. And something I was saying early on, and I think I completed this thought, that there's a lot of overlap, I think, in the latter tiers. You know, there's a lot of diamonds who could be Masters. There's a lot of diamonds who could be Platinum. You know, there's just a lot of overlap, I think. So yeah, so this result isn't super surprising considering Soulsteel was playing an off race, and you know, I don't know about you, and I'm sure this is true for Troy, which is Soulsteel's name. I don't know if he wanted me to tell you that, but I'm sure he doesn't care. He even had these Ghost Academies up, but he wasn't making any ghosts, and he didn't have any nukes. Yeah, I think this probably, I mean, I do not want to take away anything from Krios' play, but we got to say, pretty sloppy from Soulsteel. He didn't use ghosts. He didn't, even after getting all the upgrades and spending the money, he didn't use them. Obviously, ghosts are absolutely necessary if you're going bio. 100% absolutely necessary if you're going bio against a Protoss. Look at that. Zealot mid-strike against the defenseless supply depot. I love it. Woo-lah! All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It was good casting. I love when you guys play each other and send me the replays and they're good games. Just continues to prove my point over and over again. Fun and exciting games can happen at any level, and it kind of makes it like our own little community thing, and it's really fun and cool. Djibouti and Soulsteel used to send games in, and you know, if you guys got together and played together, I play with Fats sometimes, and he kicks my ass, and that's cool. You know, all about it, guys. So hope you enjoyed it. Keep climbing that ladder. Keep sending in those replays, NuubCast@gmail.com. Make sure they're good. And we'll see you next time. Peace.